Well, I don't even know how you begin to sum this up as we return for the final two games of the Premier League season with Southend, a decisive two matches that will decide the fate of the Premier League title as we aim for our first and Manchester United aim to make it back to back. Since you were last with me, we have won both games to back up that storming success at Old Trafford, but despite that, we've lost our spot at the top of the table. No, this Premier League title may not be decided by goal difference. At the moment, it's being settled by goals scored. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 99 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. Will we be getting our first Premier League title within the 100 episodes? And will we be making it 3 trophies in 3 years after making big progress in this save in recent seasons? We'll be finding out today as we go away to second bottom and already relegated Fulham before hosting 7th place Everton, who are back in form. United on paper have the tougher run in, but they are back on top of the table. Goals scored is currently settling who is going to be in first and second at the end of the year. And all those 1-0s earlier in the season where I said, doesn't matter if we're not playing well, we're getting the wins, we're performing like champions. Well, actually, the 1-0 wins might cost us because we should have been going for two. The 6-2 win at United is the only thing keeping us level on goal difference. But despite a couple of good wins in the last two games, defensive frailty showed again, nerves playing a factor, and I wonder if that could be costly. If you're looking forward to this, it promises to be pretty dramatic, doesn't it? And please do put a thumbs up on the video. But for now, let me go and get through and show you United's fixtures, because we've seen the two we've got. United's are a bit tougher. They've got Everton as well, but they go away from home to them. That promises to be a difficult challenge because they're trying to secure Europe. And then they're at home to Arsenal on the final day of the season before a Champions League final a couple of weeks later. So it could still be a great season for both of us, even if they miss out on this. But it's so tense. And the fact that we're not top, despite winning 4-2 and 3-1 in our last two games, is really gut-wrenching, isn't it? We're behind on goals scored by 2. That is what's deciding the destiny of the title at the moment. It's frightening. The other teams have pretty much all slipped up. City 3 behind, the rest 5 or 6 now. It has become a race that, yes, was very close, but it's back to the same 2 as last year. So let's get through the inbox. Let's have a quick look at the fitness test, because it looks like Ivanov's fit for the bench. Yokolano, maybe not quite there. He's had a little knock again. And after 2 good victories off camera against Crystal Palace, who are bottom of the table, how crucial will conceding those 2 goals be? We were 3-0 up at half-time and we let them back in it. Yes, Kranic ended his goal drought in style, as actually, we've lost our... that's what we had as the view, wasn't it? Don't know why that disappeared. He got a hat-trick to end his goal drought. Luis Vasquez scored a brilliant free kick. Then he did the same to break the deadlock at home to Wolves before Joe Wills got himself a brace again. It's been a really good effort in the last few weeks. 4 wins in a row after that rotten spell. And of course, you saw those brilliant efforts against both Spurs and United. Now, though, it's Fulham and Everton. It's banana skin time. All we have got to do is better United's results. If we get 1 more goal than them in terms of the goal difference charts in the last 2 games, we win the title. That's all that matters. I still maintain, and I said it from the United game, if we win every match to the end of the season, I think we're champions. I do think United will drop points, or that we'll outdo them on the goal difference front. But to do that, we've got to win both matches. And we start with what is a dead rubber for Fulham, who have got to try and prove a little bit to their fans before they go down. They're relegated with 2 to spare. Manchester United not playing till tomorrow. This is a chance for us to lay down a marker. Let's go and get through to it, put the pressure on, see what team we can put out. We've had the luxury in recent weeks that we've played the same team, I think 4 games in a row now. The 2 games you saw on camera, we've played the same team the 2 after as well, I think. I'm going to take out Yokolano this time, though, because he's got a knock. Takatsuka is in, and in with a new deal on the same money as he was before. Is a little bit of a weird situation, but as soon as he wasn't wanted, as soon as the interest in him had dried up, he decided he was going to stay. And we've got a couple of others as well. Peter Bernberg has signed a new 5-year deal, which will hopefully improve his performances too. So he's just starting to look up now. We've got things well managed. For today's bench, I think I might even leave Ukulano on there. How many days does it say? 2 days. We've got 2 matches left. And this is the away one that could be problematic. I have got Adamson, I have got Ivanov. But I don't think there's anyone off the bench that improves us now. So I'll probably just stick with this, unless I bring Cameron Ishmael on, who, as you can see, will be leaving the club. We'll talk about that in the next episode. I'm going to stick with the same team. Takatsuka is in for the injured Ukulano. The other 10, exactly the same as you would expect. It is Jude Sadler in goal, with Baranda and De Angelis the fullbacks, Herbert and O'Day as centre-half, Takatsuka and Vasquez the two wide men. Luis Vasquez is in and proving his worth, with Bernberg and Jimenez in centre midfield. Jimenez not giving that place up to Kivrakidis yet, another that's ended his unhappiness. And then up front, Kranic and Wills, they're flying, they're back in form. And after all the talk we've had in recent weeks, they might both make 20 goals this season. Let's go and get through to the first of today's doubleheader. See if we can lay down a marker for United. Well, everyone's happy, everyone's flowing. The only thing we can't do is keep a clean sheet at the minute. Fulham have got a very aging Ilian Meslier in goal. He's about 35 now. Xerxes up front is a threat. But let's be honest, they're not the same quality of team they were. 6 changes they've made from their last game. Maybe giving a couple a run out, I don't know. But then I'm looking at the numbers of those coming in, and they're sort of number 3, number 9, number 18. Only number 49, Adam Wignall, is maybe a youngster. And that might work out well for Kranic or Wills. Let's go and tell the lads to pick up where they left off. Let's go and see how good that centre-half is. Oh, you've got to take advantage. He's a good 18-year-old. But he's an 18-year-old with not much experience. So let's get through the dressing room, through the tunnel interview. This has to be a win, boys. There's no excuse. Well, 8 minutes on the clock. It's been a quiet start. You can see Fulham not filling their stadium at the minute, but O'Day's got the ball at the back. And we just want to make the away end happy as Bernberg gets the ball forward towards Takatsuka. Half-headed away, but it's picked up out wide. Chance to cross to the back post for Joe Wills. 20 for the season for him. Takatsuka comes in, and you don't even notice the difference from Ukulano. Hangs a little ball up to the back post. Joe Wills with a brilliant header. And it's 1-0 Southend United. We've started strong in recent weeks, but can we now keep a clean sheet as well? As Wills finds Kranic. He's got 2 wide men in support. Just drifts left himself instead, though. And he cuts it back to the edge for Bernberg. Back out wide to Kranic. Into Vasquez. Beats them all out to Takatsuka on the right. He goes inside to Jimenez after an untimely coffin fit. Across the box and cleared by Wignall. The moment he's saving them. Here's Vasquez. Gives the ball away. And Fulham have got a chance to break here. But De Angelis nicks it for Jimenez. Great stuff. Winning it back high up the pitch. Putting pressure on. Kranic just running at people. Cuts it across for Luis Vasquez. This is the game. Fulham are vulnerable. They're second bottom. They're poor. And they're resting a couple of players, bringing a couple of youngsters into the team. This is the chance for us. We have got to take advantage. We've got to make the goal difference count here. I'm sorry. We've got to win by 3 or 4. As it's a goal kick for Fulham with 20 minutes gone. Ilhan Meslier with a long ball straight to Herbert. Joe Wills brings it down and De Angelis is on the left. He knocks it forward to Vasquez, who I think was played onside. Across for Kranic, who puts it in for 3. Beat this scoreline, Manchester United. I said if we won every game, we would win our first title. And I hate to say it because we've still got to play 7th place Everton. We've still got to keep a clean sheet here, which we've not done for 3 matches. I'm starting to smell it. I'm starting to dream of it, what it might look like lifting a trophy. And that could be problematic with a game and a half to go. As Jimenez breaks down the right-hand side. Big ball into the back post, headed away, but only as far as Vasquez, who's just been remarkable since coming back in. He goes back to De Angelis, through to Vasquez again, penalty kick. Come on, let's get the goal count up, boys. John Brooks going over to the screen, hopefully he'll award it. And then I think it'll be Joe Wills on penalty duty. But this is huge. We've got to score goals. This isn't about can we win the 2 games. This is about can we win them heavy. Because to lose 2 in goal difference in the last 2 matches, we've got to make it up. And that penalty being awarded helps. Let's see who's on it. It is Joe Wills. Right-footed. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And it's 4-0 with 26 gone. This is crucial. 2 for Wills, 1 for Kranic, 1 for Vasquez. The perfect half an hour. Let's keep building on it. Well, 10 minutes to the break, and we're seeing a rare foray forward from Fulham. This is what we don't want. We did it in both of the last two games where we gave up a couple of chances and a couple of really sloppy goals. That one, thankfully, is harmless. It's wide of the post, but again, just giving them a bit too much space. They were straight at the other end with a Baranda throw. Kranic brings it back down for the fullback, and now Jimenez can break into the middle, makes the run and shoots. That is remarkable. Great goal from Joaquin Jimenez. And this genuine competition for places is pushing us now. Jimenez doesn't want Kivrakidis to take his place. Vasquez knows that Adamson's sitting on the bench. Takazuka knows that Yukulano's only out one game. They've got to deliver as Domingos gets in. Big deflection. The clean sheet's gone again. His first goal. That is frustrating because it didn't deserve it. But unfortunately, we've not taken our chance there. We had a chance to clear it before. And at half-time, it is 5-1 to Southend. About as good as we could have asked for. But you never know. Conceding that goal could be costly now. As Kranic is going out from the kickoff to De Angelis. Can we go on a real goal glut this half? What's our record Premier League wins? 7-0? 7-1? I'm looking at it. De Angelis finds Wills. Cuts inside for Jimenez. He's beaten to it. Got to worry about not conceding more first. We've been poor on the ball since the break. Domingos gets it in the middle. Chips over the top. Baranda deals with it well. Jude Sadler can start again. It's a long old highlight, which makes me think, whichever end it is, there is going to be a goal at the end of this. De Angelis finds Vasquez, and now Joe Wills has support in the middle, but he's going wide down the left. 3 or 4 supporting him. He's got a chance to cut back. Finds Peter Bernberg. And another new contract boy has ended his unhappiness. He's got himself in form. He's scored a goal. It is 6-1 Southend United. This is starting to look very good. I don't think United can match this at Everton. Just my opinion. We're 10 gone in the second half. We concede no more. This is a happy day for me. Well, with 25 to go, I think we start looking at fitness now, don't we? Joe Wills is going to come off. I know he's on a hat-trick. Teddy Ivanov needs some minutes. He'll come on up front. We're just playing a target man role for now. I'm also going to rest Peter Bernberg, who struggled a lot towards the end of this season. Kivrakidis is on for him. Adamson's going to come on for Vasquez, who, again, has had a good game, but is struggling towards the end of matches. And De Angelis at left back's not had the best time. So we're going to bring Rakoski on for him. Baranda will switch to the left. Do I take off Herbert as well? I will, but not quite yet. We'll make those 4. We'll give it 10 more minutes. Then Peacock can come on for Herbert. We'll throw at left back for Martin Baranda to O'Day. Don't want to get too complicated at the back there as Kivrakidis finds Adamson. It's up to Teddy Ivanov. He's got support, playing on the opposite side to usual, but does really well. Kranic should have done better. It's a great opportunity for him there. Unfortunately, he's blasted it wide of the post. With 15 to go, Herbert will come off for Peacock. A chance to get the youngster on after injury. And a chance to rest the skipper for the final day. I feel confident we won't throw away this margin of advantage. As Ivanov finds Kivrakidis. Peacock to him again. In towards Ivanov, who's cutting in from that left. Finds Kranic. He has support out wide. Rakoski flying down the right here. To the byline he goes. Good ball in. Teddy Ivanov's up. And he's got a goal as well. Only 10 for the season for him. It's been a frustrating campaign. Stop-start with injuries. But Teddy Ivanov, this goal will be fine. Don't you worry, VAR. It is 7-1 to Southend. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. We are going to be top, at least on goal difference going into the final day. I can say that confidently because United aren't winning by 6 at Everton. A 7-1 victory for Southend United. A remarkable performance. And now we've got the happiness and the morale back on board. These boys know sky is the limit. We are 1 win from a Premier League title. But first, let's see what United do. Well, before that, we've guaranteed Champions League football for the second time. So let's go and have a look at the board's initial budgets. 118 million to spend and a good wage budget too. The reason it's a little bit lower than you might expect given our bank balance is because I've already signed 4 or 5. So we've actually done most of our summer work already. We'll reflect on that in the next episode. This is all about the title. Joe Wills, the star of the show. And now it's all about United. They play tomorrow. We'll return to press continue together. We'll find out what the score is. Here we go then. Officially, Manchester City can win the title if they win heavily against Liverpool. But I think it's pretty much over now with that big goal swing. The question is, will United win at Everton? And will they get the goal difference up? Let's just press continue and see what happens. Oh, Everton have won. You beauties. Everton have won. And now, barring a heavy defeat against them at home on the final day, we should be champions for the first ever time. Maybe, yes, a little bit of an anticlimax for the end of the video. I apologise for that because there is every chance we've won it now. But that has relieved me so much because I did not want to be in that pressure situation. All we've got to do is draw or avoid heavy defeat realistically. United are playing against Arsenal on the final day. It ain't going to be easy for them. But a draw and we've done it. And Everton, our final day opponents, the heroes for now. Fantastic news for Southend United. It's season 12 and our first Premier League title might just be a game away. We'll be back in a moment for kickoff as all we need is a draw. Well, as we return for fitness test time on the final day, a lovely little story here. 28 million transfer profit with 4th best in the Premier League on that front. There are other battles going on in the table, but we are almost there. 1 point needed, but Kivrakidis struggling after a knock yesterday. He got a tight calf. Yokolano's back, but Takazuka played so well. And Harrison Parker, I'm afraid, won't make it. Which is a shame, because he's been with us since the National League. He's going to get a medal. He's played in a Premier League game this season. It's a shame he couldn't do more. Let's go and get through the fixtures. We're going to start getting ready to celebrate. And as we do, we've got to appease the commercial department, haven't we? So let me tell you a few words about our sponsor here. HelloFresh are on a mission to make your meal times easier with pre-portioned ingredients, quick and easy recipe cards, and plenty of treats we can get on board with too. Get 60% off your first box plus free dessert for life by clicking a link at the top of the description. Sounds good, doesn't it? I've tried it before. I'm a big fan of the brand and have helped with my weight loss this year too. There's healthy options available, so why not grab your discount and give HelloFresh a go from the description below. Well, despite the fact that Kivrakidis has got a knock and that Yokolano's now fully fit, I'm going to leave the team exactly the same. How can you drop someone after a 7-1 victory? And how can you drop someone when you just need a point and that stability to win the league? Now, this is a position we've not been in before. We are already 2 points better off than we were last season. But interestingly, if Manchester United lose today, we would have won it with 80 points, which is what we got last year. Those extra few have made the difference though. We're going for the same 11. And this is all about the glory. Can we get the draw we need? Or can Arsenal do the favour for us and start the party? It's 4 changes for Everton, who bring back Garner, Branthwaite and Patterson, 3 of the originals. They've got one of the best goalkeepers in world football. Only deficit he's got is he's 5'11". He's the Fabian Barthez of the modern era. Caden Young amongst the substitutes. They're a really good team. They've been up in that top 7 or 8 for years and years now. So let's go and say, lads, give it for the fans one last time. Give them something to cheer about because Steve Tilson Park will be rocking. There'll be a few sombreros out. There'll be a few tin foil trophies. We want to make sure that we don't blow it now. It is sold out. And here we go into the first half. We are watching that United Arsenal score like a hawk. If Arsenal score, which they just have, the party can get started. Bernberg has picked the ball up in the holding role. If we score now, I tell you what, there'll be pandemonium in here. Joe Wills to De Angelis. There'll be pandemonium in this seat. Never mind the crowd. Out to Vasquez on the left. Can he do it again? Good through ball to Joe Wills, who's 1-on-1. Must score. Does score. Arsenal score. And then Southend score. And as it stands, it's going to look like a comfortable season. Oh, it's disallowed. Oh, I got too excited. Don't talk yourself up. Don't prepare your big speech too early. As Kranjic gets the corner in. Joe Wills is up. And Herbert, the skipper, heads in. You're not disallowing this one. Now, it may look like we're going to win the league by 6 points. Would probably be a little harsh given where we were. But we are going to take it. Let me get this league table up. Because at the moment, we're on 85 and Liverpool are actually going second as Kranjic loses out in the air. Devine brings it away to Branthwaite. Do not give Everton a sniff. Do not let them back in. Here's Buali on the left-hand side being pressed by 3 men. They break away with Devine and it's back to Bennett. We're forcing them into their own half, which is great. But you just feel like if they break it once, it could get nervy in here. Marin picks the ball up at centre-half again. Good spell of possession for Everton. Up to Garner and now Goron. Mitrovic has caused trouble before. That's offside, referee. Good save by Sadler anyway. Who needs to worry when you've got Jude Sadler in goal? Arsenal winning courtesy of Bukayo Saka. And we're doing a business thanks to our skipper that Arsenal let us have on a free transfer a few years ago. Well, if it wasn't going well enough on a stroke of half-time, Everton have just lost their star striker to injury. Might not be good news for the national team, but it's very good news for me. It's 1-0 at the break. I'm going to say prove a point. I don't want them to drop off at all here. Takatsuka's nervous. I'll put a bit of faith in him, but we know Yukalano's sitting there ready to go, so not a big concern. As Bernberg gives the ball away with an ambitious switch of play there. Wally looks for Bennett, and Everton are on the attack. We do not want to give them a lifeline. We do not want to make things nervy. Don't want to be relying on other results. We know a draw's enough, but having the 2-goal cushion that we've got now is lovely. As Valentino, the sub, gets in, there's options in the middle for Everton. Wali's got the chance here. Chance to shoot from the edge. And it's just wide of the post. Jude Sadler, again, probably had it covered. At the moment, he's the best player on the pitch for us. As Bukayo Saka has just scored again. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 2. Let's get the party started. Get that chopper down to Southend, because we are going to be lifting the Premier League title. Branda's got a knock. He'll be replaced by Rakowski. Takatsuka off for Yukalano. Very much the same. No risk to be taken. These are the two we replace for now, but we know there's super subs on the bench. So let's get it another 5 minutes. As Kranic with a corner. Wouldn't mind another set piece. Herbert's up. Hedge just wide. We mentioned that being a deficit for Everton, the keeper being a bit shorter. We've taken advantage of it so far as De Angelis throws into Vasquez. A quarter of the game to go. If we don't concede from this, we'll make some subs as Young picks it up on the left. Rakowski nicks it off him. Probably works out being a good change, that, because he's better defensively than Branda. Not as good going forward, better in the air. Wills has lost it and then won it back. He's working hard. He's had a terrible game, by the way. And it's out to Young on the left-hand side. Everton pushing forward. James Garner with a shot. Great save by Sadler, but it's still in danger. Valentino back to Patterson. And Jimenez blocks it for a corner. It's a nervy performance, but they're giving everything. It's almost like they don't know the score at Old Trafford. They can relax here. It's into the front post. It's a very different game to Fulham. And Everton, fair play to them, a much better side. You can see how United lost to them under that pressure. As we're 20 to go, we're going to make a couple more changes. I'm going to bring Ivanov on for Joe Wills, who's having a terrible game. Vasquez will be replaced by Adamson. And I'm going to leave it 10 more. I want to bring on either Peacock or Kivrakidis. I know he's got a knock. Berek's leaving at the end of the season. Should I be fair and give him a farewell moment? I'm not going to. I'm going to take off a tired Jimenez for Kivrakidis. And 15 minutes to go. The subs are made. Oh, Arsenal have scored a third. Saka's got a hat-trick. The Premier League title has arrived. 5 years ago, we survived on the final day of the season with 34 points. This season, we're going to win it with 85. Not a bad difference for 5 years, as Kranic has made it 2, but might be offside. What a turnaround it's been. Our first major trophy came 2 years ago. The Europa League final was won in ridiculous circumstances. 2-0 down after 3 minutes, then Joe Hugill came off the bench. We won the FA Cup last year to make it back-to-back trophies in successive seasons. And now we're going to get one of the big ones. The Premier League title is here. We've got a great young team. And Yukalano wants to make it 3. He can't quite, but what a performance. What an effort. And after that run of 8 games without a win, maybe we just had to go through it. Maybe we needed to go out the FA Cup, go out the Champions League to make this sort of thing happen. The crowd are waiting. We need a pitch invasion. Teddy Ivanov down the right. Branthwaite might get sent off here. Oh, it's Hodgkinson, but he gets away with it. I've lost the plot. I've no idea what's going on, apart from the fact that Southend United, on the final day, have won the Premier League title. 85 points. An unbelievable effort from this young team. And you look at this squad and you think, there's not many of this that's going to be getting weaker, is there? A fantastic effort from this football club. Just a shame that Harrison Parker wasn't fit enough to be on the bench to come on and lift it. But he's part of that squad. He gets himself a medal. Southend United in season 12 are Premier League champions. What a fantastic effort. We've got to push on. We've still got to win the Carabao Cup. We've still got to win the Champions League. We've not even got close in Europe there, to be honest. But that is a day that we'll remember forever. United maybe gifted it a little bit. We've risen to the occasion. We've bounced back in style. And with 85 points, Southend United have won the Premier League for the first ever time. Southend United have won the Premier League. It's the best ever finish for the football club, of course. They're hit by Premier League fever. The board are ecstatic. Vasquez is happy. Southend United crown champions. 39 million, that'll cheer the commercial department up. Even HelloFresh can't pay us that much. Let's go and get through to the end of season messages. Hopefully, a little growth in stature wouldn't go amiss after this. Well, look at that perfect progress for our last 6 years at Southend in the Premier League. 17th, 16th, 10th, 6th, 2nd, 1st. That's not a bad little jump, is it? Vasquez has won Players' Young Player of the Year. Not a bad effort for him in his first season. And more importantly, we've won Manager of the Season. We're going to make this about us for a moment. How many players in a Team of the Year this time? Just the 6. Vasquez, Yucolano, Bernberg, Wills, De Angelis and Herbert. Kranic might feel hard done by there, but to be fair, neither of our strikers scored that many to be considered. That's not a bad effort at all, is it? If Memic had stayed fit, you could argue he'd be in there too. I'm a little bit upset that Sadler's not. A small complaint in the grand scheme of things, though. Well, for the 3rd time in succession, the Southend United season review contains a trophy. This one, the big one though, a reward for a big league season. And look at some of these signings. Can I remind you, Kranic and Vasquez cost a combined £50 million. Two of the best players in the Premier League. Casey Worcester, one of the originals from this save, who was sold right at the start from the academy, came in and played his part with a couple of big European goals. Kivrakidis is going to be a star of the future. Peacock maybe disappointed me slightly, but we've got the English tax, so we won't lose money on him. In terms of the transfers out, you can see where we've improved, can't you? Emir Williams off to Saudi, as were Rick George, Valdo Kamara. Other players went across the division like Andres Asensio and Sam Ammo, a club legend. We made a profit this summer and got those players in. It's not a bad effort, is it really? Players out on loan, not many are going to come back that good, but Soren Hansen got a good half a season at Norwich, and he will be part of the squad next year. The season results, we are top of the table, and I don't really care about the rest. We didn't win in our first 3 matches, we picked up just 2 points then. We went on a magnificent run before losing to United, another very good run before a horrible one around the end of February and start of March, as well as that Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea spell. We also dropped points against Sheffield United and Brighton, but in the end, we finished with 6 victories, including that 6-2 win at Old Trafford. That was the emotional blow that we saw in the last episode, and it certainly was the one that decided the title. Joe Will scored 19 goals, not a bad effort in the end. As in the Champions League, we lost at the round of 16 again. That's the one we've really got to try and push on in now. The FA Cup out in the 5th round, so frustrating because the draw really opened up after that. I presume Arsenal are in the final. They've got Bristol City. Bristol City of the Championship have made 2 FA Cup finals in a row and are now coming up to the Premier League. Give that club some credit. That's an incredible effort. So Bristol City back-to-back FA Cup finals. Arsenal, I would imagine, will win that. The Carabao Cup out on penalties to United. Hopefully we can avoid them in a draw of that next year, because that is one of the competitions we haven't won yet, and I would like to change that. A 7-1 win at Antwerp was the biggest win of the season, level with that Fulham game earlier today. A 3-1 win against Wolves saw goal of the season, a stunning Luis Vasquez free kick. We mentioned he scored in back-to-back games, and a match to remember, a 2-2 draw at Arsenal, and boy do I remember it. 90th minute equaliser from Lewis Herbert, kept an unbeaten run going that ironically we then lost the next game. A big point in the end, every point was, as we secured a title on the final day. We haven't had all the money in yet, so we're not going to worry about that, but the reputation's up, the shirt sales are through the roof, and I'm a very happy man. The best 11, they've not gone for Vasquez, which I find interesting. Adamson, they're very close, but both have brilliant seasons. The rest of it I can't argue with, it's what I would pick. The accolades, Joe Wills, player of the season. Young player goes to Yucolano. 24, can you still be winning Young Player of the Year then? Highest record transfer fee received, 40 million for Asensio. Yucolano gets 4 goals in a league match. Kranjic's signing of the season, and Ryan Adamson, 16 assists, not bad for a rotational left winger. Manager of the season goes to us as well, and that is true history in the making. A wonderful season, a wonderful story, and after 12 years, we win the big one. Let's have a quick look through the messages at the end as well. Expected goals a game, top of the table. Set piece goals scored, always the big one. Second best defensive record, second best shots on target a game. And to be fair, clean sheets, maybe not so many. That's something to work on for next year. The overall best 11, we've got inductees. Joe Wills makes it up front alongside Ivanov. Yokolano is in, Veranda's in, Herbert and Sadler. Oh, some of those old gems are starting to go now, aren't they? Daniel Rose is still between the sticks. Kwanzaa's still in there. There's not many other survivors. Morehouse probably the only other one. And Will Ferry still on the bench. I quite like that too. The supporter update. 3.5 million extra social media followers. A bigger core fan base as well. The club expectations for next year. Be in that top 6. Be competitive in the Champions League. We've got to win a domestic cup within 2 years again as well. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll do the team meeting in a moment. But what a fantastic year. We've got players that are probably going to be off. There's going to be a bit more turnaround than usual this summer because a lot of those players on the fringes of the squad, we've got to step up to the next level. We've got some good young players coming back from loan and we've got 4 new signings pre-agreed already. 1 more going out for sure and a few more that are going to be on the way. This is going to be a busy summer and we will be back in 2 days' time to get through our summer transfer special. But for now, if you did enjoy this one, a glorious finish to a brilliant season, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of this achievement, because it's certainly the earliest in a save we've ever won a Premier League in one of these. To do it within 12 seasons, normally takes us 10 to get to the top level. To be able to do it and get there this quickly is a remarkable effort, especially given the first season. We've got a great young side, so do you think we can press on with a few additions and win a Champions League before the end of the save? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date and find out all the answers and see all those deals we've pre-agreed this summer, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Plenty more to come, including a big one tomorrow from the head coach. If you missed yesterday's playoff, you can find it in the eye above. But for now, thank you very much for watching, for following along for another season. This one has been a historic one. Let's try and make it the same again next year.